Entrepreneur is the French derivative of the expression a person who organizes and manages a business or industrial enterprise, taking the risk of not making a profit or getting the profit when there is one. Joseph Octave Arsenault so aptly depicted the true meaning of that definition. He was born in Cascumpec on August 5, 1828, the son of Melem Arsenault and Bibiane Poirier. He was the seventh child in a family of 10. When he was just 3 years old, the family moved to the Egmont Bay area and eventually settled in Township 16 on a lot of land in what is now called Urbanville. In 1847, at the age of 19, he embarked on a teaching career. From 1849 to 1851, he taught in Rustico, and from there he moved to Abrams Village, where he taught for the next 12 years. In 1861, at the age of 32, he married Gertrude Godet of Miscouche and eventually raised 9 children, 5 boys and 4 girls. In 1865, Arsenault left the teaching profession to open a general store, the first one owned by an Acadian in that part of the province. In 1874, he opened a second store, and he became a major employer in his area. Records show that his stores were stocked with dry goods, groceries, small wares, and a wide variety of retail items. They say that more business was transacted in his stores than in the biggest stores in Summerside. In addition to his busy stores, he hired men to travel around the countryside to buy eggs from the farmers and established a cooperage in Wellington where he manufactured the barrels used to export his fish. He went into the fishing industry first in mackerel fishing, and when the lobster industry began booming in the early 1880s, he became one of the main lobster packers in this region. For some time, he owned 2 lobster factories in the Egmont Bay area. In 1867, Joseph Octave Arsenault was elected to the Legislative Assembly for 3rd Prince and sat continuously without ever being defeated until 1895, when he was named to the Senate. 2 of his sons followed in his footsteps and were elected to the legislature: Joseph Felix, who was in business with his father, and Aubin Edmond, who became Premier of Prince Edward Island in 1917. Arsenault was much involved in his community, promoting good agricultural practices, education, and Acadian language and culture. At his death in 1897, the Daily Patriot of Charlottetown wrote, "In the councils of his country and on the floor of the House, he was characterized for his unassuming disposition, sound judgment, and moderation in debate. In business life, he was noted for his strict integrity, keen business insight, and indefatigable industry, while socially, Mr. Arsenault was a whole-souled gentleman, possessing many of those qualities which distinguish Acadians." Joseph Octave Arsenault demonstrated much entrepreneurial spirit, and as a pioneer Acadian businessman, opened up many avenues to his compatriots. But, as Bishop James Charles MacDonald eulogized at his funeral mass, Mr. Arsenault's death is a great loss not only to his Acadian compatriots, but for all islanders, for citizens of every origin who respected with equal enthusiasm this noble son of our province. Ladies and gentlemen, for the year 2001, our first Prince Edward Island Junior Achievement Business Hall of Fame laureate, Joseph Octave Arsenault.